Welcome, everybody, to Casting for Two, the podcast with your host, Chris. I am that one individual. Welcome, everybody, to today's show. And boy, what a show it is. It's not like all the other shows I've done. This one is special because it's episode 125. It's the only 125 this show will ever have. Technically, that's kind of true. But hi. I don't know. So, fun fact, I tried to change the beatboxing in the background earlier today, but unfortunately, I started doing this complicated multi-track system, and it just wasn't working out. So if anybody has something they want me to put under it, let me know. If not, I'll just keep using it because I've had this thing since day one. It was something to fill background noise, and it's still here. As always, if you'd like to contact me, that's smooth transition, by the way. If you'd like to contact me, do it at Casting for Two, both Instagram and Twitter. And if you guys want to leave me a nice little comment on iTunes or Stitcher, I'd really like that. But let me get into my guest today. Let me introduce my guest for today. There we go. My guest is Nikki Moore, who is an actress and in a very great person to talk to. She's in a movie right now called Occupy Texas, which is making its debut in Dallas at the Dallas Film Festival on the 19th, April 19th. So I was excited to chat with her about the movie because everyone knows I love movies and I like actresses and actors and everything about the filmmaking process. But enough talk from me. Let's get into the episode. So everybody sit back and relax. And Chris, cue the music, please. What's going on?
Hey, not much. How are you?
I'm doing well, and yourself?
I'm very, very well.
Yeah. What have you been doing today?
Oh my gosh, today has just been a catch-up day for me. I've been sending emails and reading and, catching up on everything that I don't get to do the rest of the week.
There you go.
Hanging out with my dog and cat.
That is very important.
Yes.
Now, and
I need quality time.
Yeah. So I'm not a cat. I don't own a cat. I have dogs. But do they ever get into fights or tussles?
Oh, totally. But the funny thing is, my cat is 2 pounds bigger than my dog. So the cat kind of wins most of the time. But yeah, they totally have a tit for tat going on. They chase each other all the time.
There we go. Well, maybe one day the dog will get the better of the cat. Maybe. I don't know.
Well, they sneak up on each other, so,
Gotcha. Yeah.
They trade off. Sometimes the dog wins, but the cat, the 2 pounds is a big difference.
Yeah. Yeah, definitely. For today, I'd just like to chat about your origins. I'm always very fascinated when people or individuals get into, their field. For you, when did you realize acting was an actual thing for that you could do?
Oh, wow, at a really young age. I loved musicals from the time I could remember. I watched The Wizard of Oz over and over and over again when I was a kid. I've always loved music and dance and theater. So at a very young age, I had an interest in it. And then, I started doing commercials in Houston I went to Interlochen Arts Camp as a kid, so I was just kind of a theater nerd my whole life.
Mm-hmm. Okay. And then so when acting was something you wanted to always do, or was there like maybe I want to be a doctor and I might give acting a shot, or it was always acting?
It was always acting. Yeah.
Right on. I always like the fact that, I mean, even though you had your heart set on acting, you could possibly, play a doctor or something, and not saying like you can run around, give prescriptions, but, you can always be something else. That's always been the nice thing about acting.
You mean as a character?
Yeah, why not?
Okay.
Because when I was little, I wanted to be a ninja.
Oh.
And I can't be a ninja in real life, but if I'm an actor, I could possibly play a ninja. That's all I'm saying.
That's absolutely true. You can be anything you want when you're acting.
Yes. So everybody become actors. Stop the medical degrees, everything. Let's go into acting, everybody.
Well, I'll just play pretend all day long.
Yes.
Great. It'd be really good for our society and culture.
There we go. Yes, yes. Nothing. Did you ever see Idiocracy?
Yes.
I feel like that might happen if everybody turned into actors.
Yes, touche.
So only some people become actors. All right. There's a cutoff.
I think that's a better idea. That's a better plan.
What was the first project you booked?
Well, the very first thing I ever booked was a commercial in Houston for a local store called Palais Royal.
Okay.
It was shooting at my high school, and I got to audition, and I booked it. So that was pretty cool. And from that moment, I knew I had to pursue film and television.
There you go. And so, because you're a Texas gal, is that okay to say?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah. I live in San Antonio right now.
Oh, cool.
So, but I don't consider myself a Texas gal. That's the only thing.
Well, that's probably healthy.
Right.
You don't consider yourself a gal?
Nah. Or
How
Texas.
do you identify?
Well, when I was younger, I was born in El Paso, but I moved to Oregon when I was young. So I've always felt like a Pacific Northwesterner.
Okay. Yeah, I was reading that on your site, and I thought you were still in Oregon, but you're in San Antonio now.
Yes. Yeah, I'm in San Antonio. This is where the show was.
What brought you back to Texas?
Family.
Okay.
But I do always get to Austin, though. I love Austin.
Yeah, Austin's really cool. I'm going to be there in a couple of weeks after the film festival in Dallas. I'm going to take a little road trip to Austin.
There we go. So speaking as Texan, is there something that you wish that was here locally in Texas that was everywhere? So, because, like you ever get homesick, you wish you had this one thing.
Yes, I have my answer.
Okay.
I miss Tex-Mex.
Okay, yes.
So much.
Yes.
And specifically nachos.
Okay.
Because there is nowhere besides Texas that can make nachos. If you order nachos in California, they give you a pile of chips with like beans thrown on it and some salsa and like some cheese. It's just a big pile of nothing.
Right, and probably kale.
What?
Probably kale or something.
Yeah, they try to make it healthy with black beans. And no. In Texas, you get these gigantic tortilla chips.
Yeah.
And each one is individually made with the refried beans and the cheese, and you can top it with chicken or beef. And that's how a nacho should be.
Yeah, there you go. Well, see,
Not a pile of mess that they give you in every other state.
Exactly. It's funny when I first moved here, because I would send friends those refried beans that you just add water.
Yeah.
Yeah, you know what I'm talking. Nobody, I've never seen them anywhere outside of Texas. So I would just send them. My friends were like, "Look at what is this?" I'd say, "Make them follow the instructions. Don't put too much water." And so yeah, I still do that to this day.
Yeah. I mean, everybody should experience a little Tex-Mex.
Exactly. So do you feel like
Wonderful. Yeah.
not only living in Texas but also loving Tex-Mex helped you get into character for Occupy Texas?
Oh, yeah, of
Yeah.
course. Uh, yeah, it's a Texas-centric film, and yeah, I think being from Texas helped me get that part.
Okay. That was part of the audition, right?
Yeah,
No,
I think they wanted native Texans. They wanted to really make it feel like Texas, where a lot of films that are about Texas or about Dallas, they're not necessarily shot there. They're not necessarily shot with people who understand what it's like to be a Texan.
hmm
It's a little bit of a unique culture.
right.
Yeah.
It's funny you say that because I was my friend. I went to school up in Canada for film school, and we were watching these short films that Canadian filmmakers were making, and one of them was a Texas themed trailer. And I'm just watching it. I'm thinking, have these people ever been to Texas? Because this is nothing like Texas at all. It was very stereotypical. Maybe that's the tone they were going for, but I was just like, oh, geez, like, obviously they're not from Texas because they wouldn't know.
Exactly. So with this film, they really wanted to make it feel authentic, and it was. It was authentic. Everybody in the movie pretty much was from Texas,
Hmm.
or lived in Texas, and yeah,
There you go.
filmed in Dallas. That
And Dallas is pretty
that
Texas.
made me. Yeah, Dallas is a pretty, yeah, it's a good representation of
Yeah.
Texas, yes. Yeah.
Since you guys shot in Texas, is there at all any Dallas Cowboy swag? Because that would take it up a whole notch.
No,
Oh,
unfortunately.
that's okay.
I mean, I don't know unless they snuck it in. Not that I'm aware of.
They'll add it in. You come walking in on the scene, and you're wearing this big, huge Texas Dallas Cowboys hat.
Yeah.
They can add
No.
it. So, what is Occupy
No.
Texas about?
Occupy Texas is a coming-of-age story after the point at which you should have come of age.
Mhm.
So basically the main character is this guy, Bo, and he is from Dallas, but he was living in New York, kind of a washed-up occupier on Wall Street, and he has to return home after his parents' death and finds himself responsible for his two teenage sisters. So it's about his reconnection to Texas and mending all of the relationships and everything that he left behind and coming back and trying to make his family whole again after the loss of his parents.
Okay, right. And you, which character do you play?
Well, since Bo left all these people behind, I play the ex-girlfriend that he left, perhaps the love of his life. But since he left, my character, Sherry, she's moved on. You know, she's gone to college and she's married and she has a career and she has a whole life without Bo.
And I'm sure you still don't have feelings towards that. That his character at all, right?
Well, you know, his character returning was a huge shock.
Yeah.
No one really expected it. And so, you know, I think Sherry had kind of put him out of her mind for so long. And then when she sees him, it's almost a moment of disbelief. Like, am I seeing a ghost? What, really? Is that you? You know? So I think the feelings may have come rushing back, but it was just too little too late. It had been too long.
There you go. I can't tell you how many times I've put. Actually, I probably could have maybe like once or twice, but I put somebody out of my mind who, you know, either has moved or whatever, and then I see them and I have that feeling, oh my gosh, what do I do now? I'm immediately taken back to like high school. So yeah.
You know, I think there's connections, once you have them, they're so strong, and they don't just go away. I mean, you can try to forget them, but the moment you see the person, yeah, everything comes rushing back. So definitely Sherry had that moment, but she's a mature adult, whereas Bo is the same age, but he's not necessarily mature.
Mm-hmm.
So, she was able to say, well, no, I'm done with my life. This is not going to happen. And I think Bo really wanted something to happen.
Gotcha. And so when you're getting to character, whether it's this movie or any other project, what helps you get into that character's mindset?
Well, something you may not know about me. I also have a master's in clinical psychology.
Oh.
So
okay, so that definitely helps get into the mind of somebody.
Yeah, I like to take all the information I can get from the script and try to just understand them as thoroughly as I possibly can, and then go from there. And then with all the gaps, I bring myself to the role, and it's kind of like a mix of me and the character, my imagination, things like that.
There you go. Is there one character you've played that was a little bit harder to say goodbye to, or somebody you wish you could revisit?
That's a really good question. I really love this role of Sherry, so I'm just going to use her.
Okay.
I really do love her. She actually is a school counselor, so I have a lot in common with her because of my degree in psychology. So it was kind of a way for me to live vicariously through the character. Like, what would my life be like if I weren't an actor? And I did have a practice full time, and I did get to see clients all day long.
There you go. Well, because my sister is in the same boat. She actually has a master's in psychology and is actually a school teacher. So I feel there's a lot of similarities here.
Wow, that's cool.
But yeah, so one thing I like to do is I like to give people the podcast floor, meaning you can talk about or pitch anything, or if you'd like to just sit in silence, it's your time to do so. But yeah, I understand that the film's premiering soon at the Dallas Film Festival.
Yeah, at the Dallas International Film Festival. It premieres April 15th at 7:30 p.m. So, hey, if you're in town, you should come. I can give you a ticket.
There we go.
But yeah, I just want to talk about the writer a little bit, Gene Galliano. He was just so amazing. He also stars in it and produced it. I just thought he was really great to work with. And director Jeff Barry, again, they make such a great team, and it was a really wonderful experience working with them. And I'm so thankful and grateful to have been able to do that and to be able to work in my home state. It's just a really cool experience.
There you go. Before we leave, I'm wondering if you'd like to play a game with me.
Okay.
So you have a master's in psychology, and I actually have a list of questions so that the audience can better get to know you.
Okay.
So these are just simple questions. It's nothing crazy. But I'll ask you 5, and then we'll know everything we need to know about you.
Okay.
So the first one, Backstreet Boys or NSYNC?
Whoa, I'm more of a New Kids on the Block.
Okay, all right, New Kids. That's fine. That's fine. And nobody disses the NKOB. I get you.
Okay.
Let's see. John Taffer or Gordon Ramsay?
Gordon Ramsay.
Okay, interesting. Okay. Peanut butter M&Ms or Reese's Pieces?
Oh, it's a tough one. Peanut butter M&Ms.
Okay, all right. Pancakes, waffles, or French toast?
French toast.
French toast, okay. And the last one, which is the most important of them all, Pick a Nick Cage movie. Face Off, Wicker Man, or Bangkok Dangerous.
Will you please repeat the question?
Yes, pick a Nick Cage movie. Face Off,
Okay.
Wicker Man, or Bangkok Dangerous.
Face Off.
That is correct. You got that right. You got them all right, actually.
Cool.
So, Nikki, for the people at home who would like to keep in contact with you, digitally, that is, where can they do that?
They can contact me on Twitter. My handle is Nikki Sue Moore. And also on Instagram at Nikki Sue Moore.
There you go. And Nikki, I had a wonderful time chatting with you. And anytime you want to come back on, just say the word, all righty?
Oh, thanks so much. It was great chatting with you, too.
Thank you. And you continue to have a wonderful day.
Thanks, you too.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Bye.